conference will now be recorded.
All right, guys, welcome to the weekly watch list. Let's start with ES, which is the S&P 500. So Friday we did sell off, but as we can see now, after hours, ES is making a new high, and we are attempting to break out after hours. We're holding, let me go into the hourly. We're attempting to break out, probably won't get it, I'm not sure. We'll see. Hopefully it does, but we'll see. It's looking like it's rejecting right now. Hopefully that gets the close over and stays over. It'd be a shame if it doesn't, and then we push down tomorrow, as it's looking really good right now. So let me go actually the 4-hour chart and look. It looks a lot better. So we held this consolidation here. This consolidation here, and now we're poking our head out above that consolidation. We have a nice squeeze forming and momentum's moving up. RSI's moving up. Indicators are all bullish, so it's looking good. We just need to close above that 155 and start pushing, and we could go to 3160 and 3170. Now 3170, there's some good resistance there, but our main target still is 3194, 3200 area. Okay, so right now we're still looking bullish. Hopefully this moves into the morning and stays above. Hopefully it doesn't close back below 3155 and then comes back down to that 3144. So we'll see. It's looking good. So we're gonna keep that hope alive. Now let's go to SPY. SPY, same thing, kept this consolidation here in this zone, all the way back here and here. So you kept this consolidation, held these levels. We said as long as we hold 314, we're bullish. So it looks like it wants to break out. If it breaks out and gets above that 315.60, then we should be able to push to 316.44 and 317.27 and possibly 327.65. Now our main target on here is 319.45, 320. So those are our main targets there. So we'll see if we're able to get above that 315.60 and hold it. That'd be very strong if we do. After hours, it's about 315.40. So hopefully it could get above there and push. That'd be nice for SPY. All right, let's go to NQ. So NQ, let's see here. So NQ's been holding this daily channel. It has a possible rising wedge, to about 85.20. So we could definitely push up towards that area and then pull back and test this breakdown and then breakout and then push on higher to that 8600. So that 8600 is going to be the target of ES's 3200. So we'll see if we get those together. Okay, but we have a nice bull flag forming. So NASDAQ's looking good. It's looking very bullish. After hours, it did try to push, but it failed the breakout. So that's not looking good just yet, or its candle hasn't closed yet, but as of now, it's failing the breakout. So we'll see if there's going to be more consolidation. Maybe we just go sideways and build this base that we have here, build that base a little bit more before we move up. But still, it looks like we're going to move up. Okay, let's look at the Qs. Qs holding this daily bullish channel. We do could got some room to consolidate sideways, but we also can move up. There's plenty of room to the upside. As long as we hold that level of 205.73, then we'll be bullish. If it breaks that, then we could come down to 204.74, and then from there we'll go up. But if we get above 206.05, we should push, especially above 206.25, we should push to 206.60, and then 207 on the Qs. All right, let's go into some individual stocks. So we just looked at NASDAQ, so let's look at Apple. Apple has this cup and handle pattern on the 4-hour chart. Let's see here. So Apple has this nice cup and handle pattern that looks like it wants to break above to head to 268, 269, 271, possibly 272. Over the long term, we're expecting Apple to come up here into the 300 area and test that upper end of the channel of the long-term monthly channel here. So still overall bullish on Apple. Cup and handle pattern looks really good on the 4-hour chart. So we're still bullish on Apple as long as it holds above 266.82, and if it breaks above 268, if we gap up tomorrow on the market, then Apple should be above 268, and it should go and hit at least the first target here. Okay, let's look at BA. So BA, we have this long downtrend here that we're catching some resistance at, and we also have this consolidation here that we're catching some resistance at. BA is forming a falling wedge pattern on the 4-hour chart. Here we have this falling wedge pattern, and it looks like it could pop up. So if it does pop up, then it could gap up and run. If it gets above this consolidation zone here, that's going to be its trigger to start running real hard, right above 390, and then it starts taking off really fast. But as of now, BA is stuck in this consolidation point. There's a lot of sell pressure here. So all this sell pressure here. So BA is struggling right there, trying to get above. It's working. There's more buy volume than sell volume, but it's just keep on trying. So it needs a little bit more buyers, and then it should push up very nicely. Okay. BA, let's take a look at CAT. CAT held this previous breakout here at 141.34, held and it pushed. If you got in there, you made good money, and now it's holding this uptrend here, and it's holding this 4-hour and daily support, and there's a very good risk to reward ratio right here at this level here. We have a squeeze forming, we have momentum shooting up, indicator still bullish, moving average still bullish. So if we break that 146.70 and then 148.50, we'll be going into the 150s very soon if that happens, especially if there's good China trade relations, then CAT's gonna benefit from that exceptionally well. All right. UTX. So UDX, this one broke out and now it's consolidating sideways. It's building a base. So it's building a base right here. So that's still bullish. It's building a nice base here. And once it breaks out, it should break out to 153 or higher. So about a $5 push. So it's building a squeeze. Momentum starting to come up. Indicators are bullish. It's looking good. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We can see here this base that's being built, and it's not looking bearish. It's looking actually very bullish. You still go up. Oh, momentum's a little slowing here, but that could change. As long as we break 149.81, then we should start pushing on UTX. And remember, our targets on UTX are still in the 160s and 170s, and could possibly go higher. But this has been a nice stock to trade, and the risk reward right now is pretty good for long-term calls. This can pull back to the breakout and test that, but it's building this base here. It's looking good. I think it pushes higher. All right, let's take a look at Disney. So Disney, let's look at our weekly. So our weekly chart, we can see that we had this base form here. We had this base form here. Nice consolidation base, huge buy volume, okay, and we're holding above that 147 area. I don't think we'll go below 147. We could definitely pull back, sure, we could pull back, but if it gets below 147, buy with both hands. Long calls, buy with both hands. It's not going to stay below 147 for very long, if it even gets there. I don't think it gets there. I think it stays above, and I think it still continues. The only concern that I have with Disney is that it's so far away from its moving averages that we might consolidate for a little bit. Maybe we could still push, but the only thing I don't like is we're so far away from the moving averages here that it might want to consolidate until the moving averages catch up and then start running again. But we do have this nice uptrend here, so it might consolidate for one day and then push, because it did have good news, and it could get some more good news in a couple weeks. But I think it pushes before that. I think it pushes. It might come down, fill this gap at 149.70, maybe, possibly come fill this gap at 150. Could happen really quickly before it rips up, but overall, very, very bullish on Disney. I think it's going to the 160s, 165s, and then the 170s, and eventually to the 200s. So still very bullish on Disney. Let me remove this here, and then if we grab this here, this uptrend here, we can see that it's hitting that uptrend right now. So it's a possibility that it could move higher. So what we could do on Disney, since the moving averages are so far away, we could move higher, go sideways, move higher, go sideways, move higher, go sideways until these try to actually catch up. Because Disney wants to go, it wants to go so bad, but these guys need to catch up. These guys need to catch up. That doesn't mean that Disney can't go without them. They could definitely go without them, but if it does, then it's going to run hard, and then we're going to have a period of consolidation like this, so that the moving averages could catch up, and then it could move again. All right, Disney, Cat, Amazon. So Amazon is looking very well. It's looking very good. If we look at our weekly chart here, we can see that Amazon is actually built, or is in the process of building, a very strong base right here. Very, very strong base. And the top of the base is 1840. So 1840, well, let's see, 1850. So about 1850, 1840 area is the base, and the bottom is about 1700. So Amazon's breaking out of this downtrend, and it's looking good. Once I think it's going to push to 1850 very soon, within this month for sure. And possibly, if some very, very good news comes out for Amazon sales, I think it could get to 1950 by the end of the year, which is this month. So by the end of the month, so it's 150 points. Could it happen on Amazon? Sure. Amazon's ran 100 points in a day. There's no problem that Amazon can't run to 1950 by the end of the month. That could easily be done on Amazon. And we do have some gaps right at that 1950 area. We have a huge gap right there, and that would be a target once Amazon breaks above 1850. Once Amazon breaks above 1850 and holds, it is definitely, let me measure that really quick. So this base here, to the top of this base, Amazon could definitely go to 2000. Not saying by the end of the month, but it could definitely happen. It could go to 2000 by the end of the month. Could definitely run 200 points this month. If it gets good numbers, it could definitely run that 200 points. So watch Amazon. Amazon is looking very good. If it pulls back to 1788, then buying some 2000 calls for say June, or not June, I'm sorry, July, I mean January or February, those could be very, very good risk return for a nice push into December, as Amazon's a lagger and all of its indicators are starting to turn and move in the favor of the bulls. And let's go to the weekly and the monthly. And Amazon is setting up a nice squeeze on the monthly and is looking very, very bullish. Here we have a nice, beautiful bull flag here. Nice, beautiful bull flag, or actually bullish pennant right here, looking very good. It could pop and take it on. We can pop this to 2,355. So 2355, we could definitely push there. Midpoint for my mid target would be about 2100. So we can definitely push Amazon into this next year. So Amazon looks good long term, setting up very nicely. I think that it's very bullish, and I think it's done being bearish, and it's going to be time for it to start flying. And when it flies fast. As you can see, these big days, it's any go. So very good opportunity in Amazon right now, especially if it pulls back to 1790, 1788. This thing could possibly go to 20 or 2100 or 2000 within 2 months, if not within this month. Okay, so that's a very good possibility. Let's see, what other stock did I want to see? Look at TNX. So TNX right now has been consolidating in this zone right here, building this base here. So it's building this base here above 17 and below 18. So between 17 and 18, it's been building this base here, and it broke that channel, but it hasn't made a lower low. It hasn't made a lower high either. It's just consolidating. So whichever way this thing breaks, I think it's any break up, and that's going to help the market run. So let's look at TLT. TLT, we have a downtrend here on TLT. So we had a downtrend here. We got close to it, and we're kind of holding the moving averages. Kind of just chopping around here. If we look at the weekly chart though, we can see that we had a reversal candle here. So this looks like it's going to pull back this week. So that's good for the market. This pulls back this week, then that's bullish for the market. if this is a descending triangle, then we should pull back down here, and that'd be very bullish for the market. But TLT still looks like it wants to potentially push higher after it pulls back. So we'll see. We'll have to extend this down to here and have this potential descending triangle. So come back to 136. So that's about a $4 move. Or it could come back to 138 and then consolidate, and then decide if it wants to break out or break down. But as of right now, TLT looks like it wants to pull back. All right. MA. MasterCard. MasterCard looks phenomenal on the weekly chart and on the monthly chart. I mean, this is just straight up, and it's not done. It wants to keep going. So looking at the daily, it's in a nice bullish daily channel. It is hitting a resistance point of 293.69, which is a hard monthly monthly resistance. But I think it breaks, and I think it pushes to 300 and continues on to 316. I think that's where the main target is going to be, 316. So about another, what's that, 50 or about a $14 move, another $14 move up higher. So let's see. So looking good for MasterCard, and I think eventually it's going to want to push higher into the higher 360 areas. So overall, MasterCard's looking beautiful, and with that we look into Visa. Visa's still looking good. Visa's in this daily bullish channel, and it looks like it wants higher. Squeeze firing to the upside, big volume coming in, momentum's up, indicators are all up. Looking good on Visa. All right, now let's check out Home Depot. Home Depot in this bullish daily channel and still holding. I don't think this breaks down because the market's bullish. We have a huge gap right here, and I think we're going to go fill that. I don't know if we're going to fill it this month, but it can be a possibility that we do fill it this month. We did have a sell-off on Friday, but that was on very low volume, below average volume. And I think it was a shakeout. I think we gap up on Home Depot and we push. I think we gap up above 221 and then push to 223 and then 225. This week, actually, I think we hit 225 at least, if not 226 and 227. 227 is a possibility this week. Next week, not Amazon, but Home Depot has its investors and analysts event, so that could push the stock up in anticipation for next week. There could be a lot of buyers that are coming in this week and push the stock higher. So still like Home Depot a lot. Okay. All right, guys. So going back to ES, let's see if we failed that breakout or if we got it. So as of right now, we're still above there. We're still above it, so that's looking good. If we stay above there, that's very, very bullish. And we're gonna push on to 3160 and 3170. So hopefully we continue, and we're gonna make some good money this week and set up for a nice Christmas. Okay, so main target, remember, is 3200, and we're gonna be bullish until our levels are broken. So hope everybody enjoyed the weekly watch list. I'm gonna cut it there, and we'll catch up in the middle of the week. All right, thanks, guys.